Robert better not get in my face, because I'll drop that motherfucker.
Hey there, friends. Welcome back to another Legally Armed America video. I'm, of course, Paul Glasgow, the one and only truth hustler, bringing you a brutal display of logic and reason on a daily basis. First of all, apologies for my very informal attire. Got kind of a big milestone-ish type weekend next weekend here at the house, and I'm been working at it. Back patio, backyard, doing a lot of work outside today, and I, basically, literally just ran in here to make the video, and I'm going to go back to work. So, my apologies for the very unprofessional attire, but I think you guys are going to get over it. Let's get right into today's video, because if you want to see what a complete system-wide psychological breakdown looks like, you don't need to look any further than Washington, D.C. right now. The left-wing media establishment is officially having a collective stroke, and honestly is the most glorious piece of entertainment that I have seen all year. This weekend, right on the south lawn of the White House, crews have finished bolting together a massive 600-ton steel canopy over a regulation UFC octagon. This Sunday, Dana White is bringing UFC Freedom 250 straight to the executive mansion. We're talking world-class athletes, grit, real discipline, fighting, real actual men with testosterone on the president's grass, right in front of the entire world. And the left is utterly terrified. Suddenly they got decorum. They got taste now. They are weeping into their keyboards, writing multi-page essays, screaming that this is the barbarization of the presidency. Oh, the humanity. A cage match on the lawn. They're acting like Donald Trump just spray-painted a monster truck onto the Declaration of Independence. Let's face it, they like looking at sweaty men, but they certainly can't relate to them. I'm going to look at the reality of this entire circus because while they're crying about decorum, they seem to have developed a severe case of political amnesia about the absolute clown show that they threw on the exact same lawn just a couple of years ago. First, friends, are you looking to spend more time at the range without emptying your wallet? High ammo call shouldn't keep you from practicing your hobby. With the CMMG conversion kit, you can swap out your standard bolt carrier group in just seconds. No tools, no barrel swaps, just drop it in. It lets you practice your form and enjoy affordable target plinking using budget-friendly rimfire ammunition. Upgrade your gear. Do it today. And when you go, use my code, FTATF10, again, FTATF10, and receive 10% off. So let's take a little bit closer look at what's driving all of this crazy outrage regarding the UFC event. The mainstream media spent the last 72 hours trying to turn an athletic competition into some kind of political crisis. They're claiming that mixed martial arts represents brutality and a culture that desecrates the holy sacred ground of the White House. Hold on a minute. Sacred ground? You have any idea the things that have happened at the White House over the years? I'm not even talking about just Biden with his tranny shows and stuff like that. I'm talking about over the years. That's like the heartbeat of the swamp in D.C. And you consider it sacred ground? But let me refresh their collective memories for a second, if you don't mind. The mainstream media seems to have developed a severe case of political amnesia because under Joe Biden, the White House didn't just host standard events. They hosted full-blown, highly inappropriate activist spectacles. They invited radical culture warriors to parade across the taxpayers' property and turn the lawn into a runway for extreme gender ideology. Lest we forget Joe Biden's massive 2023 South Lawn party, activist influencers stood right in front of the Truman balcony, stripped off their clothes, and engaged in wildly inappropriate viral stunts for social media. Right there on the same grass where foreign dignitaries walk. It was so chaotic and disrespectful to the office that even the Biden White House was forced to issue lifetime bans for some of these clowns after the public backlash that hit. They had no problem hosting drag queen shows over there, but they have an issue with a professional sporting event taking place. And let's not forget the Biden administration deciding that it was a fantastic idea to officially declare a specialized day of gender visibility that directly conflicted with millions of Americans celebrating Easter Sunday on that same day. So spare me the lectures on presidential decorum. The left had no problem dismantling the institutional dignity of the executive mansion when they were using it as a prop for woke virtue signaling and activist stunts. But the second you bring a sport that celebrates merit, grit, and actual physical dominance onto the same grass, suddenly they're the guardians of traditional manners? Suddenly the lawn is holy ground? But let's be honest about this. They're torn on this. They like seeing sweaty men in practically underwear jumping around on the South Lawn. Trust me, they like that. Pete Buttigieg, I promise you, he's going to be watching. What they don't like is this whole event is based on winning, beating somebody else, literally beating somebody else. But hard work, perseverance, and beating somebody. A lot of testosterone. They can't stand that. Meritocracy, they hate that. Like, probably the closest you get to not having meritocracy involved, and it still is, it's just sometimes it can be a little bit controversial, is whenever there's a decision and the judges decide. Other than that, it's pretty clear cut in most cases who's won. And they hate that because they want to even out and level that playing field to make their class more equaler than everybody else. And it kills them that this is an event that's got grown men who work hard, there's merit involved, and there is a clear-cut winner, and you can't change that by any HR rule or anything that you want to change behind the scenes. You cannot force your person into the winner's circle in the UFC. Now, I'm going to keep it completely real on the channel because, you know, I don't blindly carry water for anyone. That includes Donald Trump. So I got to ask, is Trump using this event to throw himself a massive ego-stroking 80th birthday party? Probably so. He's out there comparing a steel canopy on the lawn to the Eiffel Tower and hinting that he might leave it up forever. But it's not a surprise. We know what to expect from Trump. I've said it oftentimes. I do like a lot of his policies. I can't stand the way he handles some things, the way he says some things sometimes, and certainly he's got a massive ego, but who doesn't in that city? Honestly. There's not a person who's ever been elected that goes to Washington, D.C., who's not there because their ego is getting stroked as a result of it. Trust me on this. They don't do it to be servants of the people. That's bullcrap. And Donald Trump's he's no different. But I think this is kind of classic Trump. I think he's playing these people. Yeah, the whole spectacle of the ring and everything being built right there on the lawn, it is garish and it's loud. It turns the executive mansion into a pay-per-view venue, literally. And I'm honest enough to admit that putting a 600-ton cage on the lawn of Thomas Jefferson's house is kind of wild. I mean, Trump loves the flash. He loves being the center of attention. But here's the genius part. Trump knows exactly what he's doing. He didn't build this cage because he thinks it's peak architectural dignity. He built it because he knew it would cause the exact hysterical reaction that we're seeing right now. It is a calculated trap for the left-wing media elite, and they walked straight into it. No, they sprinted straight into it. The mainstream media's reaction to this UFC event on the White House lawn by Trump is like a vampire reacting to a garlic-flavored silver bullet. It completely paralyzes them. Because again, inside an 8-sided cage, you can't use identity politics to win. You can't whine to an HR department. You can't use a safe space to get out of a tight spot. It is pure meritocracy. The best athlete wins, and weakness gets crushed when it's exposed. That reality completely breaks the left's brain. So they resort to calling it barbaric because they can't relate to it and they hate it because it doesn't square right in their stupid little candy ass world. The mainstream media is trying to act like, oh, they're taking the high road here when they're taking the weak road. They want to talk about sanctity. Yeah, they seem a little bit more worried about sanctity of the South Lawn grass than they do with the very fact that career politicians are behind closed doors printing trillions of dollars, diddling younglings, and leaving the border wide open. The mainstream media crying about presidential decorum while the rest of the country faces actual real-world crises is like a guy whose house is actively burning to the ground, but he's standing on the sidewalk screaming at the firefighters because the truck is blocking the driveway. The priorities of theirs are completely backwards. Those people look down on folks who work with their hands. They look down on people who watch these types of sports. They look down on people who value strength over grievance. So when the left-wing media starts crying tears of pure agony over Dana White walking onto the White House grounds with world champion fighters, the American public doesn't get offended. They actually, in most cases, love it. It is a massive, hilarious middle finger to the very people who think they own the culture. Trump gives the media a match, the media throws a historic tantrum on national television, and the public tunes in because watching the establishment lose its mind is the best entertainment in the world. These wackos thought they had some kind of permanent monopoly on what's considered acceptable culture. They thought that they could completely rewrite American culture, demonize traditional strength, turn the White House into a stage for fringe activists and social media influencers, and force everyone else to smile and clap for it. But this weekend, that steering wheel got ripped out of their hands by a steel cage and a stadium-sized sound system. It's going to be loud. It's going to be aggressive. And it proves that the old, stuffy, left-wing DC monopoly is finished. Let me know in the comment section down below. Are you tuning in this Sunday to watch the media's heads explode? Or do you think the White House cage match is a bridge too far? Let me know. Drop your thoughts. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Out of my face, or I'm gonna roundhouse your ass.
Don't forget, guys, if you're looking for a book to educate yourself and to educate the idiots out there who can't think for themselves regarding mass shootings, go to damnliars.net. Again, damnliars.net, and get my brand new book, Damn Liars.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
Is hanging around.